Good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome to the Moose Minute Project. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Definitely got a lot of stuff done. So, went and saw the grandbaby yesterday, Amelia. Boy, is she turning cute. I am blessed with 3 great grandkids. Not great grandkids. Let's rephrase that. Great, and then grandkids. So, they are awesome. All 3 of them. Absolutely phenomenal. And I have another one on the way. So, we'll have 4 soon. But, hopefully you all had a great weekend. So, the first part of this is old school and then tough animals. If you're watching this and you're a younger person, so I'm saying in your 20s, maybe a little later, but if you are dating and you are thinking about getting married, or if you are dating someone and you're hoping that they ask, remember that most of us parents are old school. We are not the tech age people. The man is expected, or if you're in a relationship where you're dating girls, guy, whatever. If you are expecting to marry one of my children, you are going to ask if you can. That's just how I roll with it. My son will be expected to ask his girlfriend's father if it is okay. Yes, we are old school. We are of the respect era. You have to remember we were put outside to fend for ourselves come daylight, and when the street light come on, you could come home. Or you could come home quick to grab your swim trunks and head to the pool, but that was what it was going to be. I told my wife once too that if you know where Plain, Wisconsin is, and White Mound is probably, 7 miles, something like that. As a young man, all of us kids would ride our dirt bikes holding our fishing rod, headed to go fishing, do the things that we need to do. But yeah, we rode our bikes everywhere. We went everywhere. So, if you are wanting to marry someone, make sure, especially young men today that are always on their phones and they're, breaking up via text, whatever it may be, you're going to be expected to ask the father if you can marry his daughter. Because all of us are old school. We were raised that way. We were also raised that if someone needs a hand with something, you offer to do that without expectations, without any kind of thing held over their head. You are just there to help. Being old school has a lot of advantages. You hold the doors. You walk along the curbside if you are walking with someone, because that way if a car, careens out of control, you get hit versus anybody else. Yes, old school. Just remember that when you're out and about. The generations born in the 70s, late 60s and 70s are old school. And we did things old-fashioned way. We've survived all the punishments of being bullied by the kids older than us. Rejection when asking somebody else face-to-face. Not on the phone, hey, will you go out with me, whatever. No, we didn't have any of that. Our earliest technology would have been the pager, where you would have still had to find a payphone to call. Yeah, payphone. We had to pay for it. It was weird, had to put a quarter in, whatever, to call somebody. And bag phones at the end of when, the first technology, you owned a bag phone that cost just as much as what the current cell phone does. and a magnetic antenna on your car. Yeah, I know. Hot items, CD player that you plugged into a cassette player. Yeah, it came with a cassette wired for the CD player. Yeah, that's how things worked for us. The other thing I don't get today is all these weird looking trucks that are either squatted in the back or all the underglow, or our goals in high school were to own fast cars. They didn't have to make noise. Faster the car, less the noise. If it looked like a sleeper and it was quiet and it could go really fast, that was the ticket when nobody expected it. So, now, that is old school. Now on to the other part of my today of one tough animal. The white-tailed deer has to be one of the toughest animals that I think I know. Just what it is. This morning, one gets hit by a Jeep on Highway 60. I think he just grazed her. He might have swerved or whatever. I didn't see. He pulled over, was looking at his vehicle. And he took off. But the doe was laying alongside the road. So I went down and turned back because I thought, well, if she's wounded at all, I don't, crawling into the highway or whatever would be bad. So I spun back around and looked at her. I slowed over, and yep, her one foot was kind of just right at the foot was kind of messed up, but she was laying there. So I went down to the next road so I could coordinate it with 911 on where she was located. Called 911. Yep, I'll get a hold of a deputy. They'll come out. I was right at the Grant County, Crawford County kind of conglomerate there on Highway 60, past Richland County. So I get up by her, and all of a sudden I see she's standing, but her one front foot is just tweaked a little bit. Truck coming the other way, so I'm flashing hazards on. He doesn't pay attention, doesn't give two craps. Takes off like a bolt of lightning. So I think she just got knocked out, maybe a little bit. She was just kind of resting there to catch her breath, which would make sense. If you get tapped by a vehicle, I'm guessing you'd want to sit down in a chair for a minute and contemplate your thoughts of what about just happened, and took off. But you hear about whitetail all the time. Getting shot, survive. Bow and arrows, getting stuck, survive. It's just utterly amazing how strong these creatures are and how will-minded. Sometimes I think if we had that mindset of no matter what happens to us, we are going to proceed and prevail, we would be a whole lot better off. And I think sometimes we need to really focus on our lives could be worse. We could be one of those deer. I think if you had to survive off of what you gathered and what you did to live, you probably wouldn't do so well. So, count your blessings. I hate mosquitoes. I hate wood ticks. So, they live in that environment 24/7. They say deer carry around, I don't know what they said, a few hundred ticks, I think, per body. That's crazy. But they are one tough animal. After seeing that this morning, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And she just got up and took off. After she recaught her breath, and like I said, I'd give her the credit for that. I would have probably too. And so yeah, that's where the Moose Minute Project is today. Just a reminder, old school people deserve respect because we are old school. And past us, those people are just plain old, tough old birds, and they're somewhat crazy. Because they lived through a lot dangerous times. They lived through the 50s and 60s. That's kind of wild to think about that. The 50s would have been fun, I think. They had some awesome vehicles in the 50s. I wish sometimes we'd go back to the old square body Chevs and Fords. Make a new version, but in the old body. I think it'd be cool. So, have a great day, everybody. Take time to enjoy your days. but also have that goal. No matter what you're going through today, you will see tomorrow. It's not guaranteed, but fight like hell to make sure you have the best you got going on. So, and as always, on the Moose Minute Project, take time to bless somebody's day today. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the Moose Minute Project, and it is birthday week for me, so we will talk soon. Bye.